All right, let's go on back. I think I left my iPad here the last time. Next up. Thank you. Hello. Hi, look at you. I love you. Where you gonna go? I'm on the show. I'm coming off the show. You coming on my show now? On you? Yeah. Because I only got one guest and I need two guests. Okay. You feel like it? Or you got somewhere to go? If you got somewhere to be, you can go on. Ooh. Listen, fill it in, honey, because I'll be struggling trying to talk. Okay, you can have a seat. Did I leave my iPad here?
No, man.
I did.
I would have said that.
I don't know where my iPad is.
Girl, you was all over the place last week, wasn't
I
you?
was,
Girl,
man. I was
dang.
exhausted too. I'm telling you.
What's the rule? Don't touch the mic.
You can touch it. You don't, huh? Oh. Ooh.
You can talk about
Okay, body
Body
image.
image,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, good. Okay.
because if you can see, I ain't flipping and flopping nowhere.
Listen. Oh, okay, that's good. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Amped Up. I am your host, Erica Denise, and I am so excited to be back in the building once more. And again, listen, last weekend, it was so jam-packed with all of the things that I had going on that I completely forgot to call in and go remote on the show. So I just want to apologize to the listeners who may have been expecting to hear my voice last week. But I was actually at the block party, the Kentucky Derby Festival sponsored block party that was held in West Louisville, right on 30th and Muhammad Ali at the Norton's Track and Learning Center. And Miss April Hearn opened up the event with this powerful prayer. April Hearn was just on the show before ours, and I said, April Hearn, you got to stay and do the show with me. So I asked you to pray, and I think it set the tone, April, for the whole event. Because when I tell you the event went without incident, it went without incident. Talk about it. Talk about your prayer life, number one.
Well, my prayer life is extremely serious
Absolutely.
to me. And I will have to say this. I have come out of organized religion recently since 2020. However, that deepened my relationship with God and finding him for myself.
Yes.
And the main way I do that is through prayer.
Absolutely.
And I ask God to reveal himself to me throughout my day-to-day life.
Yes.
Right. And so it's kind of hard to live in a city with so much violence and so much that's going on, so much crime, and stay encouraged.
Absolutely.
And to have hope and to have faith and to have the connection that I do with God.
Absolutely.
But the only way I've been able to sustain that is because I take those things in prayer.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's important. And I knew it because I've been watching you on Facebook, whether I say something to you or not. You know, I see people, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I can feel the energy. And I'm like, okay, April's on to something. You know, April is on to something. I think that she is really being led by God. And so it was very important to me to make sure that we opened that event in prayer just to set the tone. And you did that. And so before we start talking more about what you got going on, because you have Women of Intent, right?
I'm a facilitator for Women of Intent.
Okay.
I am the founder of Women Who Win.
Women Who Win. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but I want to talk about what I'm amped up about. Do not miss out on the incredible performances by Amped Music Academy students at Louisville's event, and it is actually today from 12 to 4 o'clock. We want to give a big shout out to Change Today, Change Tomorrow for making this event possible. So please please don't forget to remember to bring a canned good and join us for a fun-filled day with the family. If you want more information about that, you can go to the Amped page on Facebook and get more information about where that is. We also have another exciting opportunity for you. We are giving away 2 tickets to see the one and only Lizzo perform
Oh, wow.
at Rupp Arena. And it's today as well. And you know what? They may have already given out those tickets. My bad. I done got y'all pumped up to get tickets. And it's today. So that, you know what? But if you want to try to enter for a chance to win, if it is not too late, you can make a donation of $10 or more to ampedlouisville.org/donate with and then we'll contact the winner to let you know. And you know what? The winner was contacted yesterday. Don't worry about it. That's what I get. That's what I get for not reading the information all the way through. That is exactly what I get. So congratulations to whomever won the tickets to see Lizzo. Congratulations, but we are always looking for donations. So if you would like to support Amped, just because Amped is out here doing some wonderful things in our community, they are empowering Black and brown businesses. They are supportive. They walk the walk. They don't just talk the talk.
Right.
And so they always need donations. And so you can go to ampedlouisville.org/donate if you want to support Amped and what Amped has going on. And so Amped is also a big investor in staff development and nurturing tomorrow's leaders. Our goal is to continue generating positive change that extends far beyond our organization, touching families and communities. And we want to give a very special thanks to Metro United Way for providing the space, and to Vivian Blade, speaker and coach, for sharing her wealth of knowledge. The collaboration is laying the groundwork for a culture of growth and empowerment. So let's continue to inspire one another. And I really love that about the Amped community, is because they bring in people that can help and that can coach and that can get us, where we need to be. So let's shut that door. It's a little loud out there. Thank you, Jay Has. So April Hearn, we have in the building today my good friend John Keene, who is the owner of Keene Dance Theater, right? We're going to talk to you in a second. But April Hearn, tell me about Women Who Win. And you have an event coming up too. And I'm going to be a sponsor.
We are so excited. And thank you so much for that sponsorship.
Absolutely.
Sponsorship allows us to do so much more for our attendees.
Mhm.
And so, yes, the Women Who Win Empowerment Assembly is coming up on July 29th. We haven't even got our marketing material out just yet. It will be dropping in May, though.
Okay.
And that is a time for women all over the city, all walks of life, to come together and to be empowered. And so some people think, well, I'm not winning. I don't run a business. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. If you get up every day and you put one foot in front of the other, you are a winning woman. You know? And I do also want to say that this space is for those who identify as female. It is a queer safe space. And it is also for masculine presenting women, non-binary, all of the things, right?
I love it.
And so in this space, we have several speakers. Our speakers this year are Dynasty Davison, Erica Seward, Mika Sharice. Oh, come on, brain.
I know Mika and Erica.
And Carla Allen.
Okay.
And then myself. There we go.
Okay.
And myself. So those early bird tickets will start selling in May. It'll go from probably like third week in May to like the second week in June. And then the regular ticket price is $45.
So when I come to this event, what can I expect? Is it a conference? Are we going to have speakers like throughout the day? Like, walk us through what we can expect.
Absolutely. So it is a conference style event, but I call it an assembly because it's not just that. It is actually a place where we assemble together. We bring our strength. So you get a little bit of fun. You get a little bit of laughter. You're going to connect with other women that you may relate to, that may go through some of the things you go through. So it's a time of sharing, and not just sharing your story, but giving actual results.
Yeah.
It is focused on healing from trauma. So we do take a deep dive in specific women focused traumas,
Yeah.
right? Some of the things that we go through, we're bringing a resolve to that. And then also just learning more about how to build community, because we need
Yes,
community
so
more than we think that we don't. We think that we got this thing. You might look at another sister and think that she's your competition.
Yes.
And we're trying to dismantle that.
Exactly.
We want to dismantle that entire mindset. So you get to come into the space. There will be opportunities for you to exchange numbers, exchange stories. We're going to do like a speed dating thing.
Oh, I love it.
But it's solely on the emphasis of finding your support.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I also invite people to come over to the Facebook group, because we're actually already doing that.
Okay.
In
good.
the Facebook group, it's on Facebook as Women Who Win.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, share with one another. I might do a check-in. How are you feeling today? Something as simple as that. You'd be surprised at what pops up in the comment section, and then how another woman says, you know what?
I'm going through the same
I'm
thing.
going through the same
Yeah.
thing. How are you getting through your situation?
Exactly.
And then they connect.
Yeah.
And now they done became, I see them on Facebook. They
Yes.
start talking to each
Yes.
other. Many of the women from last year are connected now, and they're coming together this year, but they met at the conference last year. So
Come
it's that
on.
type of
I love that.
situation.
I love that you're doing this and that you're bringing women together, because there is a huge misconception that women, Black women in
Yeah.
general, do not get along.
That's
They
not
don't
true.
like each other. It's a competition thing. But what I found, though, is if you can shut out all the people
Yeah.
that ain't supposed to be in your life anyway. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
you can fill your world with people that are for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have the power to decide who comes and goes in your life. And so if somebody's coming against you and somebody's coming against you with some hate or some jealousy or some competition, all right, sis, you can keep that.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm doing.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I love that you are doing that. And people have to realize that you cannot get through this world alone.
Yeah.
You have to have people.
You do.
You have to have God-minded people too,
Yeah.
if you want to really get to what God's telling you to do.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And
Absolutely.
connect with like-minded individuals, you know?
Mhm.
So I love that you are bringing women together and that they're connecting. And it's important that we talk about our trauma. It's important that we talk about it, because there's a stigma that comes with mental health, mental illness, things that we go through, depression, anxiety, disorders, all kinds of things that we don't talk about, because we don't want anybody to say, well, what's wrong with her? What's going on? But we suffer in silence a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all you got to do sometimes is just find that safe space
Yeah.
to be able to say, look, sis, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And then be surprised at how many people actually relate and was just waiting on somebody to say something.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't tell you how many people have inboxed me, Erica. Thank you so much for talking about your anxiety, depression. Thank you for talking about your panic attacks. I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Thank you. It's important that we do that.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that you have really kind of dedicated your life to doing this.
Yeah.
And I've seen you to be vocal about the things that you've gone through.
Yeah.
So how difficult has it been for you to talk about?
It's difficult because when you are somebody that tries to tear down walls and normalize things that should be normalized, you go under a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And so people want to fine-tooth comb your life.
Yes.
Right. And so recently I went public about my struggle with alcoholism. And I didn't just talk about dealing with alcoholism, but dealing with alcoholism while operating in the church, baptizing people, preaching sermons, preaching 3-4 times a Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, having people trust in me for their spiritual development, and not being able to, say what I'm going through.
Yeah.
It's really hard when you laying hands and praying on people at the altar and they having their breakthrough, but then you running right back to your demons, right? And you're not facing them or dealing with them because there's nobody to talk to. And so I became that person that talked about it. And it was so many people like me that was saying, like, thank you, because I think I have a problem.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where to go to get help?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I can. You know, and then also for me to even go further and say, I don't got this thing under control.
Yes.
You know, I still struggle.
Mhm.
So, you know, I went into rehab. I went into an actual rehab center September the 21st.
Mhm.
I got out December 31st and I
Mm.
relapsed.
Oh my
You
goodness.
know, I relapsed. Now, what I had to learn is self-compassion.
Wait, you was in from September to December?
To December.
4 months.
Yeah.
And came out
and
and
relapsed.
relapsed.
Because
Wow.
it just was in like
Whew.
addiction is something you have to be real with yourself
You
about.
have to.
Whatever your addiction is,
Whatever
you
it
have
is.
to be real with yourself about it. I struggle with accepting that I'm an alcoholic. When I was in that place, I did not see myself in those other women. I didn't have the stories that I hadn't lost everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I didn't lose my kids. I didn't lose my job because of alcohol.
Mhm.
I didn't lose my home because of alcohol. So it was hard for me to relate.
Yeah.
In my mind, this ain't me.
Right.
This ain't what. So the struggle continues. But what does that look like? I have to give myself grace.
Absolutely.
I can't beat myself up, and I'm not one
Come
of those
on.
people that say, "Oh, you know, I relapse with my head down." No, relapse is a part of
It's
my
a part
story.
of it. Yes.
It is
I
a
got
part
chills.
of my story. And when we get ashamed and live behind a wall
Yes.
because you made the bad decision or you just gave into your addiction,
Yeah.
that's when you stop being able to help somebody else.
Exactly.
They need to
Exactly.
know that it's possible. Some people put it down and they never pick it up
Yeah.
again. But many of us, that is not
That's
how
not
it works.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, but you will eventually, as long as you keep the information in the community of recovery in front of you,
Mhm.
you will eventually get there.
Right.
You'll
Right.
get to a point to where you like, I've had enough. Now it's causing issues in my life.
Right.
And my thing was I wanted to be proactive. I don't want to. I haven't lost my job yet. I haven't done this yet.
Yeah.
I haven't done. And so that was my approach, but that wasn't enough.
Exactly.
You know, and so being able to share that,
Yeah.
being able to take that to other women, amongst other things, dealing with grief, dealing with a son that's incarcerated. You know, we had that whole situation, and it's hard. It is not easy being so transparent in a city that you live in,
Exactly.
and still have to look at people every day.
Exactly. Because you know we can talk about people till we blue in the face.
Yeah.
You see, she's spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
What's going on with
Oh,
Erica?
my.
What's going on with April?
Yeah.
What didn't happen to John? You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And we talking about it, you know, behind closed doors and whispering and judging
Yeah.
and all the things. But I'm like, take a look in the mirror at yourself. What are you
Absolutely.
hiding?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I can be vocal about what I'm going through,
yes.
and I can be
Oh, yeah.
transparent and talk
Yeah.
about what I'm going through. But what are you hiding?
Right.
Yeah, it might not be alcoholism, but you watching porn every day.
Listen,
It might not be porn, but you lying every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you are not being your authentic self, and you want to sit around and talk about somebody else
Yeah.
and their struggle that they are strong enough to
Yes.
tell people about.
Yeah.
So you check yourself
Yeah.
first. You know,
Absolutely.
whew, I didn't know we was gonna go here
Word.
this afternoon. I love it.
Word.
We got to come back, of
Okay.
course, to talk about women who win,
Mhm.
and we're gonna pump that on the show. Make
Thank
sure
you,
that we
thank
get
you.
good attendance
Yeah.
going on. For how can people find you on Facebook?
Yeah.
April Hearn.
April Hearn on Facebook. I am Hey Miss April with 2 E's at the end of April on Instagram and TikTok. And then you can always email if you want information in regards to being a sponsor, or if you want to be a vendor. That email is womenwhowwinempowerment@gmail.com.
I love it, y'all. Please
Awesome.
reach out to April Hearn. She is out here doing the work of God, and I absolutely love it.
Yes,
Thank
love
you
it.
so much for staying and for being on the show at last minute.
Literally last minute.
Literally last minute, she was walking out. I said, "Hey, I need you on the show."
No
Listen,
problem. No
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
John Keene is a native of Louisville.
Yes.
You can stay if you want to, or you can go on and go. Yeah, okay. She gotta go. She gotta go. She said, "Listen, I'm booked for the day. I cannot stay around, honey. I got to get up out of here." I love it. Thank you, April. Mm-mm.
Okay.
John Keene is a native of Louisville, Kentucky. He has studied at the Ailey School, Steps on Broadway, and Broadway Dance Center in New York, Louisville Ballet and Louisville Dance Academy in Louisville, Kentucky. John has danced with modern dance companies Art Barking Dog Dance Company, Heaven's Radical Contemporary Company, and Seasons Dance Theater in New York, New York. John has also starred in an off-Broadway show called, is it Majorcas? Majorcas, a different kind of love story where he played a sassy back-talking butler who is Black.
Yeah, he's very Black.
And you are my friend. I met you many years ago.
Yes.
Was it at LCCC
it
first?
Was at LCCC. Yes, it was.
It was
Yeah,
at LCCC, and you came in as my choreographer. And then you did a lot of contract work
I sure did.
as choreographing for the work that we were doing with the theater at LCCC.
Yeah, I did your first Christmas show.
Yes. Oh my.
I did your first Christmas
Broadway
show.
Santa.
Yeah, that was it.
That was the very
Yep,
first show
the
that I
first
did
Christmas
at
show.
LCCC. Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
Yeah,
I didn't have the rights or nothing
been around
to
for
do
a long
time. When I tell you I didn't do nothing I was supposed to do with that show.
I think we did The Wiz and
The
I did
Black
Nativity.
Nativity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good
Oh
times.
my goodness.
Good times. We just had some great times.
Had some great times.
Yeah.
So you are the owner of King Dance Theater.
Yes. That's theater with a
T-R-E.
Not T-E-R.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's important.
Yes, very important. Very important.
Yes, that is very important.
Yeah.
So you are full time with this.
Full time. Yes, I've been full time since 2008.
Come on.
Yeah.
In business,
yes,
baby.
In business since New York to Louisville since 2008.
Come on.
And it's been a journey. Journey being a Black business owner of a dance company. It takes a lot. It's not for the weak.
Absolutely.
Because you are dealing with you could deal
People.
with 10 people, 20 people, or a whole audience. So it's been a journey. But I love every moment of it. I would not take anything back.
So back in 2008, when you decided to start John King Theater, what was the reason? Why did you feel like you needed to start your own dance company?
So I started my own dance company because I felt like there weren't enough stories being told, African Americans telling their Black story.
Yeah.
Their whole story of how they were raised or how they came through life or how they just dealt with things. And I felt there wasn't enough stories being told. So I decided to audition a group of people, and it was a diverse group of people. And I began to tell my story through them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I've noticed about your company is that you have dancers of all sizes, all kinds of different people that may not look like traditional dancers.
Right.
And so was that intentional?
I wanted that to be my mission because growing up, auditioning and going to school, I was not your typical dancer, body built person. I've always been thick.
Yeah,
dude.
same.
I've always been I've had football build. I mean, I could get down, before I went to Ailey. I remember auditioning for Ailey one time in Chicago and them telling me that I was too big.
Wow.
And that comes along with the territory, but it wasn't that she said I dance very well, but I was just too big. So at that moment I was like, okay, I got to get skinny. So that was not in my body type. So I got down to about 150. My father looked at me and told me, he said, listen, it takes all this. I don't want you to do it.
Right.
So, okay.
So what did that consist of to get down to 150? Basically starving yourself?
Starving yourself.
That's crazy.
And you'd be amazed how many dancers do that
to
have that role or just to be in that company. Dancers go amazing lengths just to be that dancer.
And the things that you have to do with your toes, like for ballet dancers, and then like you got to wrap your feet up, and there's
a lot of because I tell people dance is just like any sport, sometimes even harder because you are dancing 8 hours nonstop, learning choreography, teaching. So be it. It's just sometimes you have to wrap your feet and because you might have a cut from callus or something like that. So you get injured a lot.
A lot. Who is it? Misty Copeland. I think there was a picture of her. She's the ballet dancer, right? there was a picture of her up on her toes
Yes.
doing ballet, and one foot was covered with her ballet shoe slipper, and then the other one had band-aids and
Mhm.
like all this blood and
Yeah.
like everything. Like
Yeah.
you don't see what's underneath.
Nobody
this.
sees it. They make it look pretty with
They
the
make
point
it
shoe,
look pretty.
but
Yeah.
underneath is your toenails gone. You got
Gone.
band-aids. You got it scratches. It's a lot that you have to go through just to make it
Yes.
look beautiful.
Yes. And even when people come and see the final performance that's
Mhm.
on stage,
Mhm.
we don't have an idea of all of the pain and struggles
No.
that those actors and
No.
dancers and everybody involved in the production has
It-
gone through.
It is being in a rehearsal or just no one sees the work that's put in.
Yes.
Now, granted, you're not supposed to see that. Being a
Right.
company, you're not supposed to
Right.
see that. But I tell people, please give these people, these talented artists, grace, because they put a lot of work into what they do to make sure that you get a good show, to make sure you feel what we feel on stage.
Exactly.
So they put a lot of work into it,
Mhm.
a lot.
And that's what I mean by we need to appreciate our artists, because especially local artists, and I'll say local in quotes, because a lot of us have to work a 9 to 5 first.
Yes.
And then we get to practice our craft after we get home from work.
Especially in our city.
In our city.
Because, I mean, living in New York, dance, musical theater, that was their job.
Mhm.
The 9 to 5 was their second job.
Exactly.
And I've noticed here, since I started my company back here in Louisville in 2014, that the majority of the talent here, 9 to 5s, social workers, bankers,
insurance, everything.
That's their 9 to 5, and the art is second.
Yeah.
Now that could be very difficult.
It is.
You could have the love for it, but being in a city like Louisville, that comes second.
Exactly.
For me, I eat, sleep, breathe, dance.
Yeah.
Every day. There is not a day I don't research. There's not a day I'm not choreographing. There's not a day that I'm not dancing in my kitchen.
Yes.
I'm not sitting or thinking. So it is always in me.
Yes.
And you have to find people like that
exactly.
to be a part of your tribe.
Exactly. But imagine being like you, and that's all you do all day long, but there are no opportunities in your city.
Right.
And it's like, I can't live without dance. And I'm sure I'm saying this like as if I was a dancer and I'm an artist, like I can't live without creating my art, but there are no platforms for me.
Zero
here.
platforms.
And so now I have to work this 9 to 5 that I don't really want to work at to support my lifestyle. And then I have whatever's left to give to my art. And I just don't think that's fair.
The thing is, like, when you, I say this all the time, if we only had a space to create, and this is not just for dance, this is a space for music, this is space for musical theater, for dance, for all of it. If we all had that one space where we could just create and become this center, this epic center of just art, I think it would be absolutely beautiful.
And we can do it.
We can.
There is so much talent here, John. It's crazy. It is so much talent here. Okay, what you got coming up next?
Okay, so June 3rd, at the Kentucky Center for the Arts in the Baumhart Theater, I have my next show. This is something I have been working on. It's called Psychedelic. Psychedelic is loosely based off of Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Kind of meets the Nutcracker.
What?
Yeah. So you have these two people that fall in love, and they can't be together because they're on two opposite ends of the earth. Let's say like West End, East End. Okay, exactly. So in the midst of them getting away, they come to meet this mysterious man who gives them this drug that they think that they're going to end their lives because they want to, since we can't be together, we'll be together in death. But this man gives them this drug that actually just takes them on a psychedelic trip.
Okay.
So, and then in our act 2, they visit all these lands. Like they go to the disco era. They go to the land of dealers, which is called In the Trenches. It's going to be really cool.
So is this a scripted show or is this just all dance?
So there's a monologue in the beginning.
Okay.
To tell the story.
Okay.
And then it goes into all dance.
Oh, I love it.
I did my thing with this one. This is something I wasn't expecting. I was like, okay, John, you can do a little something here. So yeah, I'm really proud of this one.
I love it. Okay, so this is gonna be June 3rd. June 3rd at the Kentucky Center for the Arts. Do we have ticket sales already?
Tickets are live and ready to go.
Come on.
Pick them up. And you better pick them up soon because in May they will be going up.
So these
Yeah.
are the early bird tickets right
Yes,
now.
yes.
For how much?
They are $20. Of course, there's a service fee, but
Mhm.
get those tickets soon. I'd rather you get them $20 tickets
Exactly.
now because in May
They're going up.
They're going
All
up.
right, get the early bird tickets. Can they go to Kentucky Center and
Yes,
get
go
those?
or online. Doesn't
Or
matter.
on So go online, search Kentucky Center for the Arts.
Yes,
Kentucky Performing Arts.
Kentucky Performing Arts.
Okay.
Or you could search Keen Dance Theater.
Keen Dance Theater, and that's just Keen, no E.
Keen. Yes.
I always put an E.
Yes. It means sharp. So
See, come on. Keen, Keen, Keen Dance Theater. You can search them, get those tickets. I'm claiming a sellout for you. It's going to be in the Baumhart.
The Baumhart.
I'm claiming it. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes,
I do like to play rapid fire with my guests.
Okay.
So don't think too hard about
Okay.
it. Just say the first thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
Where would you go if you could go anywhere in the world?
Greece.
Who is your hero?
Alvin Ailey.
If you could be anybody in the world, who would you be?
My father.
Yes, I love it. We'll be back same time, same station next week. Bye. Yay.
Yay! Come on. Let's do
Yes.
this.
First of all, that show sounds amazing.
Yeah,